April 19th, 9:30 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4.
Day 2, let's go. Court is back in session for the trial of Damien Tenma. There's his outfit. Apollo Justice, defense team leader, is ready, Your Honor. Athena Sykes, assistant defender, is ready too, Your Honor. Je suis prêt. As shipper as ever, I see, and in French, no less. And the prosecution? Very well then, by the way, I asked Detective Fulbright to provide sturdier shackles today. There'll be no more of your funny business this time, Prosecutor Blackwell.
You think these chains can confine me? I will just break them again, and then the shocker will come out again if I act up, and it's going to be very painful. But I am strong, I'm tough, I'll fight through it. Taka, my friend here, will attack the Fulbright if he does anything off too.
Now your opening statement, if you would.
Have you forgotten, Judge?
I believe it's standard procedure for the prosecution to handle it.
Silence! I hate you! I told you, this is your job, not mine.
Looks like the judge is really bringing it today. You probably realize how Blackwell played him. That was one mean game, as Simon says. Yeah, His Honor has to fight to defend his honor today.
Your boldness. It's plain to see that you've been dreaming of delivering an epic opening statement.
I have? I don't know if I'd say that.
Why, of course you have. I saw it in your eyes the last time you gave the opening statement. That was a look of one who yearns deeply for the thrill of an epic opening statement. For decades now, you have been watching opening statements from your bench. They were the crown jewels of the court. The one thing you could not possess.
The crown jewels of the court?
Now at long last, they are within your grasp. How could you possibly refuse?
Oh, so you don't mind if I do it then?
Judge. I'll make a special exception. Just this once.
Here we go again. Yeah, more Blackwell's mind games. Well, in that case, I think I might go ahead and make the opening statement myself. In yesterday's session, we learned that shocking truth that the victim, Alderman Rex Community, was the Amazing Ninetales, who also learned that the Amazing Ninetales was a key figure in the yokai created an anti-merger protest. It was further revealed upon learning Rex QV's secret identity, Mayor Damien Tenma murdered him.
Objection. That has not been proven yet.
The fact that the crime took place in a tightly locked room was also brought to light. And the only people in that tightly locked room were the defendant and victim. The defense proposed the existence of a hypothetical third party. But further investigation revealed no proof of a third party who had escaped the room.
Ergo.
We must conclude that the evidence against the defendant is, well, conclusive. Eek, did I say something wrong?
That was quite astonishing. You truly outdone yourself this time.
Okay, one more thing to boast about to my grandchild. Yeah, this is not an unexpected turn of events. Now that it seems the prosecution has called a new witness to testify.
Inexplicable yokai evidence left at the scene of the crime. Well, does that not demand some sort of explanation?
The beds and tracks, weren't those left by the mayor while he was possessed?
That was but an act to protect his daughter.
Oh, yes, of course, I had suspected as much. Wait, did he actually play the mayor's award-winning performance?
His daughter was the one who planted the yokai evidence. Ergo, the true identity of the yokai in the manor was the mayor's maid, Jinxie Tenma.
Objection!
Prosecution is engaging in mere conjecture.
Would you care for some witness testimony, then? For I am ready to prove that little scamp is the one behind Tenma Taro's farce.
Witness testimony. I bet he means Filch and that creep LaBelle. Very well, then. Bailiff, would you bring in the first witness?
Hey guys, I'm totally not gonna mess up my odds here.
Mr. Filch, you made quite a hasty exit yesterday. See that it doesn't happen again today.
Been known for my hasty retreats since I was a kid. Bit of a trademark of mine.
Indeed, you managed to give a total of 5 bailiffs a slip.
Like those amateurs could ever nab me. Yikes! Perhaps we should shackle you by the neck. That would keep you in place. You can't threaten a witness. Get out of here. Shut up. Yipes! No, please! I'm liable to rip my own head off if I start running. I do not care. Your statement, now. Yes, sir, Mr. Blackhead, sir.
You may be in a hasty retreat, but there's no escaping Prosecutor Blackwell. Yeah, Blackwell doesn't strike me as a give-up-easy type. Now then, Mr. Filch, your testimony, please. Specifically, the true nature of the yokai you saw in the manor shortly after the crime.
Tamataro's really the little maid gal. Ain't no doubt about it.
God, I love this music.
I mean, Tamataro I saw was just a little thing, about her size. But that little runt had a big old staff. I seen it when she came into the foyer. But she stole it from the forbidden chamber after stumbling on the crime scene. She's gonna use it to wallop me on account of my fierce reputation, you know?
How did he know it was in a chamber?
Definitely have a statement to
Tamataro
press.
was short in stature. And that's because it was Miss Jinxie Tenma all along?
You betcha. Besides, all the rest of the men were way taller than that. Her. Sir, you are short. You're a shorty, buddy. Feigning height is an easy thing. But a big ox like the defendant could never pass for the sort.
What if Tamataro impersonator was walking on their knees?
Were no knee walking, I'd seen it myself.
Perhaps the yokai was really Miss Tenma after all.
All monsters, not but tricks. Either of the mind or the cheap powder variety.
So you're saying she created the illusion like one of those magical eye things?
Precisely. Human senses are easily deceived. Take the fellow in the cell next to me. Each night he cries and screams about some ghost he thinks he sees. But in truth, it was simply the janitor.
Oh, Prosecutor Blackwell just gave up the ghost, literally.
The janitor's deathly complexion and all weight attire are no doubt partly to blame. And the fact is that he constantly mutters about taking vengeance for this or that.
Actually sounds like a real ghost to me. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. I think it's going to be pressing.
Oh yeah. We need to press that statement about him talking about the okay.
The chamber.
Hold it!
I can't get a good look at how tall the Tenmataro impersonator was.
You betcha. I got a habit of sizing people up. Can we give you your printer on how to pull it off? Under the table, Natch. I got a knack for figuring out where people's pockets and how much money they have. I size them real good before I release them as their valuables.
He just admitted to being a pickpocket right here in court. Does the witness hold that this Tenmataro entered the foyer?
Darn right I do. Where'd it go, though? Tell us more.
She came in the foyer. Well, you're not going to brush it all off by claiming the perp was short.
Must have raw nerve cause y'all ain't that tall yourself.
Look who's talking, Mr. I've got to stand on a box to testify. Anyway, Mr. Filch, correct me if I'm wrong. But didn't you say that Tenmataro you said had a staff?
Cross my heart and hope to die. Because I know that when it jingle and jangle.
And where do you suppose that staff came from?
Staff, you say? Well, I
suppose you mean to say that Jinxie Tenma entered the Forbidden Chamber to get one.
Wait, see, staff like that in the manor. So it had to be from the Forbidden Chamber.
Oh really? The stench of the bell is thick in the air today. Jinxie entered the Forbidden Chamber after the incident. Then she took the staff and tried to cover up her actions by pretending to be Tenmataro? I guess that's what Filch is trying to say. Could Jinxie have entered the Forbidden Chamber if she wanted to?
Also the key. She didn't have the key, she couldn't have gotten in.
Yeah. There is one thing I was wondering about. Why did the yokai have a staff in the first place?
Well, I got my hunches about that.
Yeah, that's impossible.
Objection!
It would seem that Tenmataro was in fact not this innocent little girl.
Huh? How do you figure that?
You claim that Tenmataro you saw had one of those stabs from the Forbidden Chamber. But it would have been impossible for Miss Tenma to get a hold of one. Care to elaborate, Mr. Justice? The mayor swallowed this key shortly after the murder. He wanted to keep the killer out of the Forbidden Chamber.
What's this?
This key was deep in the mayor's stomach when Miss Tenma discovered the crime scene. So you see, it would have been impossible for her to get into the Forbidden Chamber. In short, the Tenmataro seen holding that staff could not have been Jinxie Tenma.
But here's the problem, though. That staff would have had to come out before the murder at that point.
Yeah.
That is the problem, though. So she's like, oh, she got the staff out ahead of time. That's gonna be probably like the counter argument here. But like that still doesn't hold up. Like where would it have been put?
The problem with this murder is, quite simply, after you know who was stabbed, and before you know who was hit, did he just let him in the chamber to see for himself that there was no gold there or no whatever he was looking for there?
Maybe. Ugh. Ah!
What? But then who does this defense believe is impersonating Tenmataro? Our Tenmataro impersonated none other than Mayor Tenma's aide.
Objection. Such accusations beg evidence. Aside from his ghastly appearance, can you prove he is the yokai we seek?
Yes, in fact, I can. Oh, very well. Let's see where the defense is going with this. Mr. Justice, please show us proof as to the true identity of the Tenmataro impersonator.
Probably this, because this was found in the Forbidden Chamber, placing
Yep.
him at the scene of the crime.
Take that.
We found this hand cream in the Forbidden Chamber. And we know that whoever was Tamataro took one of the stabs out there in short. Stave. I believe whoever this hand cream belongs to is the yokai impersonator we're looking for. But Mr. Justice, how do you propose to identify the hand cream's owner?
No, we are not. He keeps pickpocketing us.
He stole. He stole. I'm glad you asked, Your Honor. The defense requests a fingerprint analysis on this piece of evidence. It might tell us who it belongs to.
Or we could just look at the brand.
Interesting. So you expect to find the yokai's prints there? Very well. I hereby call a short recess while we wait for your fingerprint results.
No need for that, your boldness. We have the prints of everyone at the manor that day. You called for Prosecutor Blackwell? Prosecutor Blackwell? Yeah.
Could anyone be more whipped?
Fulbright, analyze these prints for prints. You have 3 minutes. Your wish is my command.
Very well then. I guess we'll just wait right here.
It would seem the fingerprint analysis is complete.
What do the results show?
What in the world?
They're Florent LaBelle's prints, are they?
This is absurd.
Prosecutor Blackwell? I'm not going to like this, am I? Don't tell me. They're Temataro's prints.
Fingerprint analysis have revealed that the prints belong to
The victim. Alderman.
Phineas Flitch.
Filch! Oh, I was right! I was right that Filch went in.
What?
I was totally right Filch went in a while back.
This just confirms Filch has touched the bottle. It doesn't prove he's the one that put it in there.
No, I think Filch went in, right? He grabbed something. We don't know what it is, but when he grabs something, he leaves stuff at the scene. I think he stole it. He stole it from him, right? Stole it from him because obviously he's able to bump into him while practicing, and then he just dropped it. So he had access. So he knows how to get in and out. I guess his grandpa did too, right? So he would know from that because his grandpa went in and stole something there, right? He didn't openly deny it.
You know, I have a weird thought. You know that vent we mentioned that they were saying it wasn't relevant? What if this bottle was dropped into that vent and it came out into the Forbidden Chamber? Because it was kind of in the vent on the side was kind of in the middle of the room, and it kind of looked like it was angled upwards, so it could have been slid down the chute and landed in front of the stabs.
Where are you saying the chute starts?
We don't know, but like Phineas could.
Okay. Man, I was right with him being in there.
Objection.
Though. Wait, what? What? That Mr. LaBelle wasn't the one who entered the Forbidden Chamber?
Objection.
No, I was still right with him just tearing off the tag. Why, you tricksy little tanuki. Oh, shit. Damn it.
Why, you tricksy little tanuki.
2 hours and 49.
Explain
2 hours and
yourself
49.
now. Sure, the imprints are mine. I mean, I did pilfer that hand cream from Mr. LaBelle after all.
You pilfered it. So you were the one who entered the Forbidden Chamber?
So what if I did? Got a problem with it? Yikes! You fool of a tanuki!
Order, order. Mr. Justice, can you explain what this could mean? Excellent question. Now, the fact that Mr. Filch was in the Forbidden Chamber... Wait a second. Does this mean that Temataro holding that staff was Phineas Filch?
Yipes! Not another cat out of the bag.
Mr. Filch is Temataro. I don't understand. Does this mean Mr. Filch is the real killer? No, he's not the killer.
No. I think LaBelle cleared his prints of it, had Phineas Filch touch it, and then LaBelle took it in and placed it just to deflect blame if it was ever found. Because the fact that his prints aren't on it is very weird, because his brand and it's very exclusive.
Yeah. I definitely think he pilfered it from him. I think their murder is a double. You know what I mean? Like, he's definitely assistant in crime, and he had something to benefit from it. He runs out as Tenmataro and distracts everybody, right? And then tosses the suit out the window, right? He then takes the mask and reroutes it back with a key attached to the beard of the mask, and then that's when you-know-who gets it. The real killer gets it. I keep forgetting his name. LaBelle. LaBelle gets it, and then LaBelle just simply walks out after. LaBelle hides behind the screen, right? And he runs out of the chamber after pilfering what he needed, because he's a thief. The witness will explain himself this instant. He fucked up.
Begging of ownership, but I was just doing what the alderman told me. He wanted me to be Temataro in the village exorcism ritual.
Don't believe that at all.
Yeah, that guy's too big.
Oh, you mean that event at the Nine Tails Vale Festival?
Yeah. Well, he looks too big here.
Yeah. Well, that was you inside the Temataro costume.
Yep. And after the event, I went to watch a pro wrestling program. But it bored me to tears on account of the wrestling competition being jobbers.
We didn't actually watch the entire wrestling match.
That's when I looked at Temataro costume and got a great idea. No one can tell me while... No one can tell it's me while I'm wearing it. Because I'm all superstitious, no matter what I do, the village won't say a word.
You use a superstition to effectively render yourself invisible. Why did you want to enter the Forbidden Chamber in the first place?
Because there's a treasure in there. So that was my big chance of sneaking a nab at it.
He went to grab treasure and his Gramps already got it, I bet. He went in there not knowing his grandfather already pilfered it. Oh lordy, this is guess that's one tale that didn't get passed down from grandpa to grandson. That's so funny. Wait, how exactly did you get into the Forbidden Chamber? There was a meeting in the Fox Chamber that day. Plus, the mayor swallowed the only key that could open the Forbidden Chamber's door. That is a huge question. You couldn't have possibly got it in.
I could through the air vent in the foyer.
What?
Vent's left. No,
That vent connects there?
the vent left old Alderman's picture. I went in and made my little nice little hole. Used that to get into the air duct that leads to the Forbidden Chamber, I did.
You what? But how is that even possible? Wait a sec. Remember that air vent in the Forbidden Chamber? So Mr. Filch found a way to get into that air duct. And that's how he got from the foyer vent to the Forbidden Chamber vent? He vented.
Sus.
So Tenmataro was nothing more than a cat burglar, or rather, a Tanuki burglar. And we're back to being without anyone to charge for the alderman's murder. Looks like our so-called yokai is nothing more than one big troublemaker. Tell me, Mr. Filch, what did you do after fleeing the foyer?
Guys, it cost me right quick. Would just cause trouble at that point?
And where's that costume now?
Heck if I know. And it ain't my fault if you never find it. Huh? The police searched every nook and cranny. No yokai costume was left in that manor.
Well, it was flying. What if it was tossed out that manner? Ah! No way. But maybe, just maybe... The defense seems to have hit upon an idea. Well, go on, Mr. Justice. Okay, here's what I think. Mr. Filch, did you get rid of the costume here? Window.
Take that!
Did you toss it out the window? Because that would certainly explain why it didn't turn up inside the manor.
You think I tossed it out the window? That costume cost me a pretty penny. So why would I do something like that?
I can think of a few reasons. Any bright ideas, Apollo? Well, assuming the costume really was tossed out the window, then the next question would be, what happened to it after that? And if I'm right, I might have just the thing to prove what happened to the costume. Phineas Filch, I just have the evidence for you.
You do?
You do? You do? This evidence proves you got rid of your Temakara costume through the window. Oh, that would be the person flying at 340, right?
But there's no proof that's like from the window.
It could be the bloody footprints too, because maybe he stepped. No, because he had to. How did that make sense?
There's not really much relating to Temataro other than this.
Take that!
That's Temataro flying through the sky.
And just how does that prove Mr. Filch threw his costume out the window? It's quite simple. That's not Temataro in the photo. It's the costume Mr. Filch threw out.
That's crazy talk. You ain't serious, are you?
There's a steep cliff right outside the foyer window, making the matter pretty high up. The costume flew through the air after it was tossed out. That's when the photo was taken. In other words, the photo of Temataro really was a flight of fancy.
Yikes!
Oh my, so there really never was a yokai.
Oh, I can't keep any of them cats bagged. Can I still file a claim for the lost costume?
Nope. This more than proves the defense's position. Jixie Tenma had nothing to do with staging the yokai sighting. Good written objections, Prosecutor Blackwell?
None
Ooh, that's hot in
whatsoever.
a weird way.
I'll deal with that Trixie Tanuki after I've dealt with this case.
We did? Good going. Now all we need to do is make Florent LaBelle take the stand.
Objection.
Objection. Enough of this crap. She's in a sword a bit early, are we not?
Huh?
Nothing has been proven beyond a doubt. Take this Trixie Tanuki, for instance. How do you suppose he was able to exit the Forbidden Chamber?
That is true. Probably the same way he got in, through the chamber's air vent.
But he had to walk out upstairs.
He still wouldn't be on the camera.
And what of the feathers and tracks at the scene of the crime?
Yeah, because the cops...
They would suggest that Tanuki exited through the chamber door, not the oven.
Objection.
But the forbidden chamber doesn't open from the inside. What you're saying makes no sense. Right?
Oh, okay. I think I'm starting to see it. LaBelle opened the door to let him out.
Okay.
This gotta be why. Like, what's LaBelle's purpose of opening that door otherwise?
Lets him out, kills the two in the meeting. He runs out. He's a distraction out of the way. LaBelle hides behind the screen. And then the girl gets distracted, and then LaBelle sneaks out after, dropping the key. But the key has to be sent in somehow.
Someone on the outside opened the door for you. Isn't that right? Yep, that's right, Mr. Blackjack. The door suddenly swung right open.
Hold it.
Sprung right open. Who was on the other side?
Didn't get a good look on account of the old sudden glare.
Like how the reflection from my head blinds fellow moviegoers emerging in from the dark.
That's when I snatched the staff and made my daring escape. Well, the girl mate spotted me as I hightailed it down the hall.
I mean, the forbidden chamber wasn't open until after the crime was discovered. But wait. We still don't know who opened it. Maybe there really was a third person in the Fox chamber.
Objection.
Objection. Well, you little Tanuki. When the Forbidden Chamber opened, did you see the accused passed out there? Nope, only one there was the alderman and was dead at his doornail. If the accused wasn't there, what do you suppose he was up to?
I don't like where this is going. No, don't tell me.
Plainly, the only one who could have opened the Forbidden Chamber was the accused, Damien Telma.
Nope, I don't think he could.
Because didn't she? We don't have it specified on the key, but didn't she say only the alderman and herself knew? Like very few
Yep.
people would have known how to do it. Well, no, only the alderman knew how to open the door.
Yeah.
Hold it.
Wait a second. There has to be somebody else besides Mayor Tenma there. Really? And who might that be? Oh, well, that would be...
Objection.
It seems our feisty little lass has forgotten the most important thing. Evidence.
I didn't forget. It was just testing your attention to details. Miss Sykes, you can't prove a point without proof of some sort. It's a proven fact. Sorry. Guess I put my foot in my mouth again. Proceed. We are. Think about it. If Filch is stuck inside the Forbidden Chamber, one of the alibis we heard would no longer hold any water.
Mm-hmm.
The defense would like to call a new witness to the stand. Someone who knew Mr. Filch was stuck in the Forbidden Chamber. And by virtue of knowing this, he has an alibi that no longer adds up.
Ah, not that insufferable.
Very well. Tell the court will hear what Mr. Justice has to say.
Take that!
Why, that's the defendant's aide, Florent LaBelle. Didn't he claim to be in the foyer at the time of the crime? True, but in his alibi, he also claimed Mr. Filch was in the foyer too. However, as we all know now, Mr. Filch is not in there with Mr. LaBelle at the time. In short, Mr. LaBelle's alibi has disappeared.
Ah!
Florent LaBelle's alibi was one big lie. Isn't that right, Mr. Filch?
I reckon there ain't no keeping that cat in the bag here. Yeah. It was all Mr. LaBelle's idea. He told me to button lip about me. He told me he'd button lip about me breaking into the Forbidden Chamber. In return, he said we'd vouch for each other's alibi.
Shame on you, Mr. Filch. Perjury is a serious crime, you know.
And we're not going to talk about his pickpocketing that he's very clearly admitted to.
Ah, shit.
Shucks. Mercy, ownership, mercy. Also, I like to think that his grandfather is actually not a man, it's actually a woman, and it's Gina.
And it's who?
Gina from Great Ace Attorney. The pickpocket.
That's a long way down.
It's only 100 years, and he. How old is he? Oh,
For 100 years, it'd be like great grandma.
he's 50. It's like this supposedly takes place in like the 2010s. Or like something like that. So he was born in the 60s. His parents would have been born like probably in the 30s. It's like Gina, that kind of like going 30 years back, that would put Gina fairly close. But so in a way, it could work. It could work. Or it could be Gina's son. Ah!
I also assert that the person who opened the Forbidden Chamber for Mr. Filch was none other than Florent LaBelle. After all, his alibi has just been proven to been a complete fabrication. I see. We'll take a 20-minute recess. After which we'll see what Mr. LaBelle has to say for himself. Yes. We're finally going to drag that slippery snake onto the stand. In the meantime, the prosecution will question Mr. LaBelle about these new allegations. It was free food, but it came at a cost.
Burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno, burn, burn.
That's why I wouldn't even do your jelly bean game that you do.
No, so you're saying it's spicy hot, not temperature hot, right?
Spicy hot.
Yeah, I hate spicy foods so much, and in all honesty, like they're not soup. The things I have aren't supremely spicy. It's just like the burning sensation it gives is not fun.
Exactly. We did it, Apollo. We finally dragged Mr. Labello out to court. Yeah. Hey, why the long face? I can't help but feel like I'm missing something important. Plus, Prosecutor Blackwell's bound to make a counterattack. Mount a counterattack. You really are a worrywart, aren't you? It'll be fine. The mystery figure who opened the Forbidden Chamber for Mr. Filch had to have been Florent LaBelle. I know, but that's not what's bugging me. I wish I could put my finger onto it, though. At any rate, the big showdown with Mr. Bellows up next, so chin up, Apollo.
April 19th, 11 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 4. And it's green.
It's green now.
He's Joker now. Purple
about a
suit,
magic
green hair. He's the Joker. Yes, acted on behalf of the mayor in a very important matter.
It seems the witness is predisposed at the moment.
Take his phones away. He's not supposed to have those in a court of law. Ha 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 ha. Surely you jest. I will hold you to your promise. Remember that. Oh, my deepest apologies. This is Florent LaBelle, professional aide to Mayor Tenma. Or should I say, the accused.
Ouch, like the poor mayor hasn't suffered enough.
Well, what business do you have with me? I'm a very busy man, so let's make this as brief as possible. Your boldness.
All right, Mr. Filch's testimony has revealed a hole in your alibi. And for this reason, you are suspected of having some sort of connection with the case at hand.
But to think I'd be associated with the entire lurid affair. Well, I'm not. So may I go? I have very important matters to attend to.
Objection!
I don't think so, Mr. LaBelle. Do you realize what a serious crime you've committed? Witness, you're being accused of perjury. This is your chance to clear the air.
He can't clear the air on this one. His alibi has gone out the window. We have verifiable testimony that his alibi is bullcrap. He can't get out of that.
It's already done, Zo.
Fine. The truth is I faked my alibi for a very good reason. The mayor was obviously the killer, so I created a fake alibi to confuse the matter. Why?
Bullshit.
You see, as his personal aide, I felt I had to protect him. Sorry. But in the process of protecting him, you got him accused. Like,
You think this is funny? Without your alibi, you're a suspect too. What were you really doing at the time of the crime?
peasant, how dare you accuse me, one of the beautiful...
I'm trying to tell the court what you're really doing at the time of the crime.
Silence!
Silence, Merlin. He is getting to that. I will make him talk. Enough jabbering. Swords have been drawn. The time for talk is past.
Swords? What swords?
He's about to break the chains, isn't he?
Just wait for it. Just wait for it.
This is a duel to the death. The fate of the accused rests in our hands.
Yeah, there it is.
Begone, ye cowardly heart. The battlefield has no place for ye.
Again.
Oh my.
Spare me, please. Sturdier handcuffs, huh? So much for sturdier shackles. My line was actually fairly close to what he was thinking.
Those chains hindered my vow that heads would roll this day.
Excuse me, keeping your head out on in court, whole new meaning.
Will the witness please deliver the accused destiny? You know what I speak. Most certainly. His goose is already cooked. Time to stick a fork in him.
Whatever he has to say, it can't be good.
As I told Prosecutor Blackwell during the recess, I rushed right over to the Fox chamber when I heard the little Jinxie scream.
What?
She didn't see you. Then, drum roll please. I saw Mayor Tenma open the forbidden chamber doors. Nope, not possible. There you have it. The mystery man who opened the chamber door, as witnessed by one Phineas Filch, was the accused. There was never any third party. Oh, and that's not all. I heard something quite startling there at the scene of the crime.
Startling sounds bad.
The mayor, who was barely conscious, muttered this. Forgive me, Jinxie. I killed the alderman. That's right. The mayor actually confessed to the murder right there and then. Then and there.
He confessed? Ship part is that's true, right? Because that's two people vouching for it. Order of the court. This is quite conclusive testimony if it stands.
Just so. And quite astonishing, I might add. I only learned of this fact during recess. So this proves he was in the room when she opened the door.
He was behind the screen.
That's the only way he could have known. I just love surprises, don't you? That's why I saved the best for last. Consider it a gift from me to you.
No way. I don't believe Mr. LaBelle heard the mayor confess.
I believe it. I believe he heard it because he was in the room. So my original theory of his escape is correct.
But is this really true? Did Mayor Tenma really confess?
It is indeed. During the last recess, I confirmed it with the mayor's daughter. It would seem Mayor Tenma actually did confess.
The testimony is quite favorable to the prosecution's.
This is LaBelle. Yes, I called earlier about the party reservations. That's right. I'll be calling my little Mayor Tenma's conviction gala. A splendid time is guaranteed for all but the mayor in his defense.
Well, it seems our witness is a very busy man. Let's get right to his testimony. Mr. LaBelle, please tell us what you saw when you came upon the scene of the crime. Let's go.
How are we going to break the testimonial? That's the real question.
I want to make this pencil disappear.
I was in a hallway, hiding in the shadows. That's when I heard a confession. Upon learning of her father's crime, little Jinxie fled without ever noticing me. Immediately after that, the mayor stood up and opened the forbidden chamber. As I ran in terror, the demon emerged from his prison. In shock, I fled down the hallway to my right, to the one with the phone at the end. Mm-mm. That contradicts her testimony.
I must say, this is a shocking revelation.
Do we still have that? After leaving the scene and calling the police, she passed by each other beyond and
Yeah, there's no one else in the hall. Quite unexpected. To think that the defendant actually confessed then and there to his crime. Perhaps the guilt was too much to bear and he confided in his thoughts.
Earl.
Ah, damn it. I thought it was the judge talking. It led right into it.
Perhaps the guilt was too much to bear, so he confided in his daughter.
TheLordShiro will prevent cutting me off. You do realize he should not have withheld such crucial testimony from the court.
Once again, sorry. Just I feared being accused if I mentioned coming up upon the most unpleasant scene.
Why does the mayor confession have to be brought up by this guy? We better do something before the judge declares the mayor guilty.
As a death row inmate once told me, in years gone by, there is a time to fight and a time to yield, a time to live and a time to die.
He's laying it on real thick now. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. I was in the hallway hiding.
Yeah, put the safety save just in there. But the question is which one. I think it's going to be one of these last ones.
It's the phone one. Yeah, it's that one.
This one, 100%.
Objection!
You idiot.
Lauren the Bell, you're lying about having witnessed these events from the hallway.
What on earth do you mean?
Yes, care to fill in the rest of us in, Mr. Justice, before I read the next line automatically and notice it's someone else? If Mr. Bell had really fled down the hall with the phone in it, he would have crossed paths with Miss Tenma.
What's this?
After she discovered the crime scene, she immediately went to call the police. Then after making her call, she went back to the main hallway. Whereupon she encountered the demon yokai, whatever you want to call it. As for me, I call it Phineas Filch in the Tenma Taro costume. The encounter happened right there where the hallways meet. As for Mr. LaBelle, if he had fled there, feigning an escape from the yokai imposter, well, yes, the two would have crossed paths. Right, except Miss Tenma told us that there was no one else in the hall. In short, Miss Tenma did not see you in the hall because you were never really there.
My eyes! My beautiful eyes!
Huh, not such a fabulous scent now, is it? But, Mr. Justice, the witness also stated that he heard the mayor confess. If he was lying about hearing the confession from the hall, then where was he when he heard it? Inside the Fox chamber, where else?
Mm-hmm.
But isn't that within the very crime scene? It is, Your Honor, and that means he's not really a witness. Rather, he's the third party I've been alleging this whole time.
What? You think I'm the killer? How dare you?
Silence!
Silence! You idiot attorney! I have more evidence, you foolish fop. A true man knows when he is beaten. A shield of lies comes to naught before a foe with a sword of true bars. Prosecutor Blackwell, what are you? I thought we were on the same side. You idiot, I'm on no one's side but my own. You are mistaken. There are no sides here, save for my cold, steely edge of judgment. You are alone upon this battlefield, with naught but your lies and sticky perfume. Sickly sweet perfume.
Oh, what just happened? Blackwell's really tearing into him.
You heard the mayor's confession from inside, did you not? You did, defiant dandy.
Deviant?
For the sole location from which you could have seen and heard the mayor's in the Tanuki, without either of them noticing you, were there in the fox chamber. Oh my. So that's how it's going to be. Fine. Then I'll come clean then.
Seriously. You admit to being there in the fox chamber?
I do. I did enter the room after the murder. But I was afraid of falsely being accused, so I lied about it. I feel terrible lying like that, but it's the vague cologne I use to protect myself. Perjurate. We cannot trust anything you say.
You better explain yourself, Mr. Lavelle.
Yes, of course. I was just about to get to that.
The witness is skating on thin ice. I'll remind you that perjury is a very serious crime. Now let's hear about your testimony again. This time without your perfume of lies.
And please, for the love of everything, just tell us the truth. If you keep lying, it's gonna make me look very bad. I will cut you down. I did enter the fox chamber after the murder. But I didn't enter until after Jinxie had heard the confession and left. I heard the mayor groan and hid behind the folding screen there. What I saw there up close, it was absolutely horrifying. See, I was there, but merely watching from behind the screen. When did you leave, though?
Behind the screen. Why, yes, I believe you wouldn't be spotted if you were there.
Just so. He could see everything without being spotted by the victim or the Tanuki Filch. Suffice to say, he was a mere witness to the events, rather than an actual third party.
But then he wouldn't have heard the confession.
Well, he said he was standing outside until she went out, and then he went
Ah.
in and behind the screen.
Okay, fair enough then. This guy's slippery as an eel. Apollo, you think he's...
No, he's not telling the truth.
Well, he was in the fox chamber, so at least that much of this must be true. The defense may cross-examine our slightly voyeuristic witness.
Like,
That's a statement that's wrong. We gotta figure out what counters it. Actually, yeah, I do want you to press on horrifying as well.
well,
See what he
I
would
feel
say.
like this one's the one we need to object to. I think he was more behind a door. Because if the doors swing open, like, because we did have that mentioned, like, there was a mark on the back of the behind one of the, and you got the broken statue on the other side.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like he had to have been behind the door at some point.
But we have nothing to counteract that. I'm curious. I want to see what he says by horrifying. Can you press the fourth statement? Because that might actually open something up.
I meant hit back. I meant hit back, but we'll just go through it. We'll see what he
May have
says.
been knocked out by a blow to the head. Could he really have opened the forbidden chamber in that state?
Thanks for the lurk, Lady Z.
Well, it did seem to Blah.
Well, he did seem difficult. He was all woozy and stumbling around as he opened it. It was such a heroic effort that I nearly started to cheer him on in spite myself.
I think the mayor needed medical attention more than a cheerleader. You think he's telling the truth about being there in that room? I believe he was there. Question is, when did he enter? You mean, did he enter after Jinxie fled? Or was he there before the murder? If it's the latter, that would change everything. Right, if he was there before the murder, that would make him a suspect. But how do we go about proving that? Well, I guess we ask him about what happened there. Anyway, let's press him and see what kind of info we can extract from him. It's that horrifying thing, right? Let's cross our fingers and hope he reveals something incriminating.
Yep.
Hold it!
Could you describe the crime scene in a bit more detail?
What? Oh, I think I know what he's about to say. He's going to say he saw the feathers everywhere when he walked in, but Tenmataro hadn't been released yet.
Yeah. Well, it's either that or it's him having to turn the fox statue.
Oh, yeah. He's like, he just walked up and opened the door. Objection. That's not how you open it.
Yeah.
What exactly would you like the details about? Probably
Yeah, feathers and tracks. Let's go with yours first.
well, yeah. Well, we kind of called both of these out.
Let's go with yours first. I feel like that one is for sure more solid. What do you remember about the yokai feathers and tracks?
They resulted when Tenmataro exited the Forbidden Chamber. Came out at quite a rush, scattering feathers this way and that.
Did you immediately know it was Mr. Filch?
I did, and that's why I suggested we cook up our alibis together.
And how did those practice sessions go?
They were nearly the death of me. Filchy has to be the worst student ever.
He really doesn't think he's done anything wrong, does he? Like, he's going for perjury, whether he likes it or not. I mean, well, Mr. Judge, if you consider a statement to be of any importance, no.
No, not this one.
The witness may proceed.
All right then. I would just like to add it that it was terribly grisly scene, as I have described.
Yeah, he was banging on about the feathers, so
Hold it!
have a skip. Because for a guy that had to figure out how to open it, and he was hiding behind the screen, he had to certainly fold the screen to find the clue. Anyways, could you please describe the Forbidden Chamber at the time?
It was shut tight until the mayor opened it.
He's really trying to stress that it was the mayor who opened the Forbidden Chamber. Just that big liar, he opened it himself. Well, it looks like Kayla Bell would be toast. I would say yes, and then just
Yeah.
change the point after.
Yeah, we'll see what he says.
Let's add it to the testimony, just in case.
The Forbidden Chamber was shut tight until the mayor opened it.
That doesn't help us. Let's try the third statement and see what they give us. We might be both thinking wrong. Let's try option 3 and see.
Like, we don't have any specifications about, like, this, like, the only is the guy being able to knowing how to open the door.
Yeah, but the mayor has the key, right? So technically he could open it. All right, option 3, let's go. Skippity. Could you describe the state of the weapons that had been used at the scene?
Could the murder weapon have come from the chamber? Is there a chance it could have? It's just a thought. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be that, but...
In the animation, he stabbed him before it, though. Could you describe the state of the weapons that have been used at the scene? All the way?
Wait. All the way?
More than all the way.
Yeah, the autopsy doesn't give us many details.
Yeah.
The spear had been thrust all the way through Alderman Cupid. Then there was the statue. The alderman used to bludgeon the Mayor Tenma.
No, it was a statue.
An incredibly inspiring symbol had fallen to the floor.
Alright, the statue.
Yep.
But why would he find it inspiring?
This is gonna be it.
Yeah. What exactly did you find the statue inspiring?
Here it is. Well, when I saw that statue, I felt as a murder had been realized. It was like a celebration of union between town and village, an inspiring symbol of goodwill.
A statue next to a bloody corpse. Real inspiring. Well, Mr. Justice, do you consider the statement to be of any importance? Yep. I believe that to be extremely important. I request that be added to the testimony. But a girl?
Objection.
Yeah.
Don't even need to save. Don't even need to.
Your lies have finally betrayed you, Mr. LaBelle.
What possibly could you mean?
You said the statue was like a celebration of union between town and village. Isn't that correct?
It is indeed, but what of it? The two yokai are joining hands in goodwill, as they were celebrating the municipal merger.
But you would have had to hear it.
Apollo's just like, got him. Something the matter?
So, how did you really know the statue was meant to be a symbol of goodwill again?
What? Justice, Dono. Explain yourself, and make it quick. I am confused what you're talking about.
The statue was meant to symbolize goodwill in its original form, but that was a secret.
A secret? Whatever do you mean?
What I mean is that it broke when someone used it to strike Mayor Tenma on the head. Well, that clearly makes it look like the two yokai are battling it out.
Yeah.
The statue's secret and its true form were lost inside that locked room. For Miss Tenma is the only living soul who should know what it wants to look like. So, Mr. LaBelle, where could you have possibly seen the statue in its original form?
What do you mean, where?
The only possible answer is this. You saw the statue in its original form. Right there in the room where Alderman was murdered before it was broken.
How dare you?
Mr. Justice, are you accusing the witness with some sort of crime? Yes. Yes, I am. Florent LaBelle. I accuse you of the murder of Alderman Rex Cuby. Order, order. Mr. LaBelle. You've been accused of murder. Do you have anything to say in your defense?
How could you possibly accuse me, the embodiment of beauty?
Way to go, Apollo. This is the conclusive evidence we needed. Magnifico. We've got you now. We know you killed the alderman. Now admit it.
I...
Silence.
Silence, Justice Dono. You have no evidence of
Like
that.
with all that shit.
Enough of your silly games, Justice Dono. This prancing peacock could not possibly be the killer.
Objection.
What are you talking about? His alibi has already crumbled to dust. And I just proved that he was in the Fox chamber while it was still locked tight.
Silence.
Silence, Justice Dono. You are not listening to me. What could he have not seen? Why could he have not seen the statue in its true form before the murder? After all, he was close friends with the alderman. Ergo. Yes, that's right. I clearly remember it now. Alderman QB told me about it. About what the statue actually looked like. I mean, he was a good friend of mine.
Yeah, right. He wouldn't show you a secret gift just like that.
Silence.
Silence, girl. Moreover, it has already been proven that he was not present at the scene of the crime.
It has.
Forgotten, have we? We'll cause a little scamp statement, if you will. When Jinxie Tenma unlocked the Fox chamber,
Nobody was there.
she saw the alderman and the mayor collapse therein, and no one else.
Dang it.
The fact is that you two have made that apparent in yesterday's court session. Thus, Florent Nobel could not possibly have been in that locked room.
I just don't get it. How could Jinxie not have seen LaBelle?
The proof is incontrovertible. No room for debate exists. Am I not right, your partners?
It does seem awfully conclusive. The facts point to the defendant and victim being the only people in that locked room. But they said he was behind the screen already. Well, moreover, the defendant has already confessed.
Again, he's claiming he went in after she left.
Yeah.
Objection. Silence.
Didn't even give him a chance.
You cannot defend the indefensible. Your role in this chamber is over, Justice Dono.
But.
Your boldness. This trial would last an eternity if we were to keep crossing blades with these simpletons. It's high time you brought down the hammer of justice.
A point well made. I believe it's time to declare a verdict. This court finds the defendant Damien Tenma. Hold it.
All that.
Phoenix.
Ooh.
Him.
Ka. It would seem my time is at hand.
Mayor Tenma.
Counselor, there is a matter I which I must testify. I recall it now only for your good graces.
Counselor. Oh, right. He must mean me. He has finally remembered what happened before that blow to his head.
Bailiff, do not just stand there. Seize him. It's all good. I can't restrain him. Ka. Know me in despair. For I am Tenmataro, Demon Lord of the Yokai.
Mr. Justice, do something. Since when am I responsible for court security? Apollo, this is our chance. We might get some new information out of him. Mood Matrix? Your Honor, seeing as our client has something new to say, I believe due process demands that we hear him out, even if he is a yokai. When you put it that way, silent. Still, I believe testimony by a yokai is unprecedented in the legal world.
Unprecedented is absurdity, more like.
Well, I mean, we have talked to a parrot, so I mean. All right then, Mr. Damien Tenma, or should I say Mr. Tenma Taro. Your testimony, please.
I shall now speak of the recollections most real, courtesy of my host, Damien Tenma. Heed these words, mortals, for hear them but once you shall. Ka-ka-ka-ka.